welcome back to Mini-Modelog. If you haven't been here before, I do unboxings and news for most Games Workshop products. Most mid-month news is about the new releases that have come in the last couple of weeks, or new hints we've had on the Warhammer community website, which I've got up in front of me here. Also, just to let you know, I went to Warhammer World recently and picked up a mould line remover, which I've never used. I always normally use a standing knife, so I'm going to give you guys a review on that at some point, and also Garrow for the Horus Heresy. So I might, if you want a review on any of the books, do let me know. At the moment, I'm reading some Age of Sigmar books, but I'm going to read the Master of Mankind. So if you want a review on that, pop in the comments down below that you want me to review it. So, new things on the Warhammer community page. I kind of pick things that I think are interesting. One, for a start, is that Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, the computer game, has come to consoles. Now, I'm a console player. I play on Xbox One. I also play Blood Bowl on there. I'm currently playing Blood Bowl 2. If you want to hook me up with a game, let me know down in the comments and we'll try and hook something up on Facebook. But Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor looks interesting to me. I'm going to try and get a copy and give you a review at that at some point. It's now available for both PS4 and Xbox One. So there's that. So let's move on to Kill Team news. Obviously, more of the Kill Teams have been released. I'm going to be looking at getting the Drukhari set at the end of the month. But the big thing at the moment is Kill Team Rogue Trader. Now, you can buy Rogue Trader as a standalone, and it works very well with the full Kill Team box, but it also works very well if you've just got the core manual and you want the two Kill Teams that are in this set. I personally think these Kill Teams are a step up from the previous Kill Teams you got in the original box set. They're brand new models. There's no kind of link back to other factions in the 40k universe. Obviously there are slight links, one being that the one is based on a Nurgle kind of edge to it, which is the Jellipox Infected, and the other is the Lucidian Starstriders. Now, both factions are relatively new, all new models, which I think is really cool. There's some new dice as well, which are coming out, but also the main thing in that is that there's a new board to play on, which is actually set inside a spaceship. So rather than playing Kill Team on a battlefield similar to 40k, you're actually playing inside a spaceship, much more like Space Hulk. So they've kind of took the idea of Space Hulk and drafted it into Kill Team, as far as I can see. I don't know how it'll play out. If you've gone and bought it, let me know how it's playing out and how it works. I'm sure my mate Chris, who you saw on the channel previously, will be getting a copy, so no doubt I'll have a chance to play that at some point. But I'll let you know. So that's Kill Team. 40k news I've already done. Age of Sigmar. So Age of Sigmar, the big thing in Age of Sigmar is the new Beastmen stuff. Obviously you're getting a new box set, which will be a new start collecting, as well as endless spells that are coming out for you. I'm really liking that they're bringing endless spells out for factions, but I'd really like some Skaven ones, please. I know I always go on about Skaven, it's what I collect, so you know I'm bound to want Skaven ones. But they've obviously, you've got in that box set some Vestigors, I think Shaman's in it, and also a large Behemoth type character. But the endless spells have now been previewed properly, and you've got the Doomblast Dirge Horn, which kind of gives -1 to hit for any unit who doesn't have horns, which I think is really nice and thematic, which is really cool. You've got the Belfire Taurus, which we saw the model for a couple of months back on Warhammer Community, and has now got a name, and that basically is a predatory spell, much like some of the other ones you've got in the Malign Spells set. So obviously, set up right, you'll be able to roll through enemy lines without a problem. So, you know, cool, I like that. And then finally, the last endless spell for that kind of contingent is the Ravening Direflock. And basically that penalises your enemy's bravery. Now, I think all of these are really cool, and I quite like that they're faction specific and quite thematic. And like I say, I love some Skaven ones in the same vein. And I hope Games Workshop do that in a retrograde way eventually, but we still have to wait and see. But that's your Age of Sigmar news. So that's pretty much everything. The main news I wanted to talk about, though, which I thought was a joke at first, was Warhammer 40k Monopoly. Now, I don't know what everyone else's thoughts about this are, but personally, I was like, really? You've sold your whole kind of, not soul, but you've kind of sold yourself to another company. You know, you sold the rights to 40k so they can use the rights. And I've looked at the board, and I think the board's quite cool. You've got some nice things. Obviously, going to jail, free parking is still the same. But the 4 stations are the craft worlds. Holy Terror is what Mayfair was. And of course, you get 6 pewter kind of collectible gaming tokens, which are all thematic, of course. You've got a Gene Stealer one, a Necron one, a Space Marine one, a Chaos one, an Eldar one, and then I can't tell what the other one is. It's like a sword. So I'm sure it explains it, but I think they look really cool. I think if you're an avid collector of Games Workshop and a lot of your family have seen you play and maybe tried to play the miniatures games and found it too difficult, I think this would be a really great way to get your family to understand the universe a bit better. So, do I advise it for long-term players? Maybe not. But if you've got kids or if you've got family who have watched you play Games Workshop games for years and just don't get it, but play Monopoly, I think this is a good little buy. I mean, I've got a Lord of the Rings Monopoly somewhere, which is good fun. And it's got some slightly different rules. And I hope they've done the same with this Monopoly, that they can change it up to make it more 40k style. But I think it's great. I love the fact that the artwork is all in there from a lot of the games. I mean, a lot of the squares. And you've got the main board artwork is from 8th edition. But then, of course, you've got on each square a different little picture, which is artwork through the ages from what I can see. So that's really cool. I really like it. Don't know whether I'll get a copy. Let me know if you've got a copy. But that's pretty much all the news I've got for you on Mid-Month News. News from the channel, though, is go and check out Two Drunk Flings podcast. Me and them are going to work together on some Blood Bowl stuff in the near future. I'll tell you more about it once I've got more information. But I'll pop a link down below to Two Drunk Flings. Check out their Facebook page. Check out their podcast. If you're really into Blood Bowl, I think their podcasts get a thumbs up from Mini-Modelog because they're just basically what you saw with me and Chris. Two guys talking about the hobby they love, talking about their records and how well they do at Blood Bowl, which is really quite funny at times. I've really enjoyed listening to it. Something I've been listening to now for about 2 weeks, and they contacted me wondering whether we wanted to do some sort of collaboration in the future. So I will be doing a collaboration with them. More news about that in What Have I Bought This Month at the start of next month. I'll see you next time where we will have the review of the Spike Magazine 2. Now, I didn't get Spike Magazine 1 because it didn't really appeal to me because obviously I didn't get the Doom Lords. But I did get the Dark Elf team. If you haven't seen that unboxing, it'll pop up in a minute. But next week I'm going to do the review of Spike Magazine as well as the unboxing for the Bellwind Vortex. Not really much to it, but I thought if you're thinking of getting one, I'd still unbox it for you. Have a good week and I'll see you next time.